Welcome back to Digital Rage. This is episode 35. I am Jeff, the producer here at Byer Company. Today is part 10 of our cybersecurity marketing series. We take our executive summary of my book and gave it to Gemini to summarize the whole thing. So this should give you a great primer for what's in the book. If you want the book, please go to jbyer.com. Let's go.
All right, let's dive in. Today we're looking at something pretty complex, but totally crucial. Cybersecurity, specifically the marketing side. Why is it so uniquely tricky for these companies to, get their message out there?
It really is a different beast.
We're digging into an article by Jeff Byer, Cybersecurity Marketing Challenges and Solutions, our plan for this deep dive. Pull out the core ideas, figure out why marketing this stuff is so different from, say, selling phones or even regular business software.
And importantly, what Byer suggests companies can actually do about these challenges.
Yeah, the practical side.
And Byer sets the stage well. He points out the cybersecurity market is just incredibly fast. Threats change, tech shifts almost constantly.
Right. So you're marketing against a backdrop that's always moving.
Exactly. That alone makes it tough. You're aiming at a moving target.
Totally. And the article gets right into the specific pain points. The first one, it's all about the language they use.
Oh, definitely. The jargon. Byer highlights this straight away. So many acronyms, deep technical terms.
Stuff that maybe only a security engineer really gets.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, isn't it? The article points out the decision makers, the people signing the checks, they might not have that deep tech background.
Right. They're thinking about business risk, impact, the bottom line, not necessarily the system architecture.
Exactly. Overly technical talk can just switch them off. It alienates the very people you need to convince.
So it doesn't connect with their needs?
Precisely. Byer's advice, simplify. Radically simplify the message. Focus laser sharp on the outcomes. What problem are you actually solving for them?
Make it about their world.
Yes. And use visual storytelling. Translate that tech speak into business speak or maybe risk speak, something that resonates outside the IT department.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Get the language right first. But then the article moves on to the buying process itself. It's not exactly an impulse buy, is it?
No, definitely not. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The article really emphasizes these long sales cycles, the complicated buyer journeys.
Multiple people involved?
Oh, yeah. Rarely just one person. You got IT, security teams, legal, compliance, finance, maybe even the C-suite. They all have different questions, different priorities.
Wow. Okay. So if it takes that long and involves that many people, how do marketers stay relevant through that whole process, according to Byer?
Sustained engagement. That's the core idea he presents.
Sustained engagement. Okay.
Which means things like account-based marketing or ABM, treating key target companies almost like their own little markets.
Tailoring the message for each one.
Exactly. And tailoring content within that company for the different stakeholders. Plus, just consistent, valuable outreach over time, keeping the conversation alive, helping build that internal consensus.
Okay, consistency is key. Now, something you touched on earlier, risk. Cybersecurity is all about protecting really sensitive stuff. Trust must be absolutely massive here. The article hits on this hard, right?
Oh, it's critical. Probably the most critical element. Buyers are naturally skeptical. They kind of have to be, given the stakes.
Makes sense. A bad decision could be catastrophic.
Totally. So building that rock-solid confidence in your company, your solution, it's not just nice to have marketing fluff. It's foundational.
So how does Byer suggest companies build that trust, that credibility? What are the methods?
He lists a few key things. Customer testimonials are huge social proof showing you've done it successfully before.
Real-world evidence.
Yep. Then there are third-party certifications, objective validation of your claims, also thought leadership.
Meaning?
Publishing genuinely useful, insightful content, showing you're an expert they can actually rely on, not just a vendor pushing a product.
Become a resource.
Exactly, and just being transparent. Open communication about what you do, how you do it. It all adds up to demonstrate reliability.
Okay, building trust over a long cycle. But the article also mentions another issue. Just how many cybersecurity companies there are now. It seems like a really crowded space.
It is incredibly crowded. And Byer flags that differentiating your brand is a major, major hurdle.
Because everyone's talking about similar things. Firewalls, endpoint protection, threat detection.
Right. If the language sounds similar, how do you possibly stand out? How do you explain why your solution is the one they need?
Good question. So what are the tactics Byer puts forward for, cutting through that noise?
Number one is clearly articulating your unique value proposition, your UVP. What specific problem do you solve better than anyone else? Or who do you solve it for uniquely well?
Find your angle.
Find your angle, exactly. Maybe that means strategic positioning, like focusing on a specific niche market you can really own.
Rather than trying to be everything to everyone.
Precisely. And then using creative, targeted campaigns that speak directly to that niche, that ideal customer. Make it distinctive.
Got it. Now, here's an interesting one the article brings up. Sometimes a customer doesn't even realize they have a big problem, or they underestimate the danger.
Yeah, that's the education challenge. It's significant and ongoing. A lot of businesses, maybe smaller ones especially, think, oh, hackers won't target me.
Or they just don't grasp how sophisticated the threats have become.
Or the nuances of the solutions needed. So there's a baseline level of education required.
So how do marketers tackle that? How do you educate someone who doesn't know they need educating?
Buyers suggest becoming that trusted educator.
Like the thought leadership idea again.
Sort of, but maybe broader. Creating really insightful content, think reports, webinars, simple explainers that raises awareness about the risks in a way that's not overly technical or scary.
Making it accessible.
Exactly. Using interactive tools can help too, letting people assess their own potential vulnerabilities perhaps. The goal is to provide value, educate the market on the problem, and naturally position your brand as the go-to authority for the solution.
Okay, so you educate them, they see the need, but then you actually have to find the right individuals within those potential client companies. The article says lead generation, that targeted outreach, is still a big struggle.
It definitely is. Finding and reaching the specific person or team who holds the budget or makes the decision for your kind of complex solution, it's tough.
Getting the right leads.
Exactly. Byer really emphasizes the challenge of generating high-quality leads consistently, not just a flood of maybes.
And what's the suggested approach there, according to the article?
It's usually a mix. Highly targeted digital ads, think LinkedIn ads aimed at specific job titles or industries.
Okay.
Plus, strong inbound marketing, creating valuable content that attracts people actively searching for solutions.
Pulling them in.
Right. And then, once you have a potential lead, personalized outreach. Not generic spam, but tailored communication. It's all about quality over quantity, finding those prospects who are a genuine fit.
Now, this next challenge Byer mentions, it feels kind of universal in business, but maybe extra sharp here, getting marketing and sales teams aligned.
Oh yeah, the classic disconnect. The article points out it's a major pain point in cybersecurity sales.
Because if marketing brings in leads that sales can't work or the messaging is different.
Opportunities just fall through the cracks. Efficiency drops. And the customer gets a confusing, disjointed experience. It really hurts conversion.
So what's the fix? How does Byer suggest getting them on the same page?
Communication, communication, communication. Clear, consistent channels between the teams are baseline.
Makes sense.
Byer also talks about sales enablement. That means giving the sales team the right tools, the right content, the right data from marketing to actually have effective conversations and articulate that value proposition consistently.
Equipping them properly.
Yep, and doing joint planning. Marketing and sales planning campaigns and goals together from the start so everyone's pulling in the same direction.
Okay, alignment is key. Finally, the article raises something really fascinating and unique to security. Proving ROI. Return on investment. How do you show the value of, well, of nothing happening?
That's the kicker, isn't it? Success is the absence of a breach, the prevention of disaster.
How do you put a price tag on that?
It's inherently difficult when you're selling something intangible like protection or risk reduction, but Byer stresses you have to find ways because budget holders need justification.
So what does he recommend for tackling that specific problem?
Focus on quantifiable metrics where you can. Maybe you can't measure the breach that didn't happen, but you can measure things like reduce system downtime if there's a minor incident, or faster recovery times. Maybe improve compliance scores, which avoids fines, or even efficiency gains for the security team because your tool streamlines things.
Tangible side benefits.
Exactly. Using ROI calculators can help prospects model potential savings too. Detailed case studies are vital, showing how you specifically helped another company prevent or mitigate real risks.
Proof points.
Proof points, and consistent reporting back to existing customers, reminding them of the value they're getting, reinforcing the decision.
So summing all this up from the Byer article, it really paints a picture of a very specific marketing battlefield for cybersecurity. You've got the technical complexity, these long sales processes, the absolute need for trust.
The crowded market, the need to educate, the targeting challenges, internal alignment.
and that tricky ROI question. But crucially, as you said, the article doesn't just list problems. It lays out concrete strategies. It suggests these hurdles can be overcome.
Absolutely. And understanding these specific challenges and the kinds of solutions a buyer proposes gives you a really practical roadmap. It's not just abstract marketing theory. It's grounded in the day-to-day reality of selling cybersecurity in this environment.
Yeah, this deep dive really crystallizes those key insights from the source. You get a clear sense of the unique difficulties, but also the actionable ways forward suggested in the article. It provides a solid framework, really, for anyone marketing in this space.
And just thinking about Byer's starting point, that context of constant, rapid change, it leaves you with a final thought, maybe.
Oh.
Well, if these core challenges, simplifying complexity, building trust, proving value, are always going to be there, but the threats and the technologies are always changing, how does the very definition of what makes cybersecurity marketing effective need to keep evolving right alongside them? Something for you to chew on.
Reach out to us at jbyer.com for comments and questions. Follow us at Byer Company on social media, and if you'd be so kind, please rate and review us in your podcast app.